it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are filming a video that if you asked me 5 years ago today if I would be filming, I would say heck no, because I have never been like a huge reader. I think in the 27 years that I've been alive, I've read maybe a handful, like 5 books. All of them have pretty much been like fiction books. I think that's what it is when it's like a story. Clearly you can tell that I'm not a huge reader, but I'm going to say now that all of the books that I am going to be showing you guys today are self-help books. For some reason, 2021 at the beginning, I'm like, I really want to grow as a person, and self-help books are obviously what that is for. And I want to learn stuff, and I know that you can learn stuff with fiction books as well, but I really wanted to learn things about myself and grow as a person and all of those things that self-help books allow you to do. So without further ado, I'm going to be showing you guys the 13 actually. I was gonna do one book every single month, but I do have another book that is kind of formatted where you read a chapter every single month for the full year. So we are going to be doing one book every single month as well as that book. So without further ado, if you guys want to see the 13 books that I'm going to be reading in 2021, just keep on watching. And am I a bookfluencer now? No, I am not, but maybe in the future I might end up being. But yes, let's get into this video. Ooh. So like I mentioned, I'm going to try to read one book every single month of 2021, as well as this book right here. This is an edition. This I've had for a really long time. Most of these books I've had for a while, and for some reason I just haven't gotten myself to read them. So I think that's why I kind of am pushing myself to do that this year. But this one I've had for a while. This is called #CHILL by Bryan E. Robinson, PhD. He's got a PhD, but this is called Chill, Turn Off Your Job and Turn On Your Life. And the one thing that I really love about this book is that it is structured where each, I guess, chapter is a month. So here you can see that you have January and you just have a full chapter. I'm not sure how many pages each month is, but I'm gonna try to read this and then an additional book on top of it. Just the first thing on the back here just gets me, and it is, attention all workaholics, you need to #chill, which is just so funny to me because I have, ever since I started my business Planting Roses, I have definitely been a workaholic, and I've gotten better over the years with learning to give myself some time. I've stopped working on weekends, which has been amazing within the last like year or two, but I feel like I'm still always in that workaholic mindset where I am always thinking about what I need to do next, and I feel like I need to get better at scheduling my time and scheduling like my brain to just shut off work at certain times. So this I'm going to be reading all throughout the year and taking it slow with this one. But speaking of January, that is this month that we're in right now, I have been reading The Joy of Missing Out by TONYA Dalton. She was actually the CEO, or she is the CEO of Inkwell Press, which is really cool because she has a planner business. They make planners and organization, and that is something that I'm getting into as well. Obviously their business is a lot further up there than we are. I just started releasing planners, and I would love to get to the point of TONYA. But this book has been absolutely amazing. I think I'm on chapter 5, so I'm about, you know, third, possibly almost a half of the way through this book. It is currently, when I'm filming this video, the 13th, I think, of January. So we're on a good schedule that I should be able to finish this by the end of January. I'm super excited. I have been learning so much from this book. If you do own a business or anything, actually, this is a great book. When it comes to productivity and stuff like that. The first sentence here on the top says, productivity is not about doing more, it's doing what's most important, which, holy crap, that is mind-blowing to me. So very excited about this book, and I will say now that I definitely recommend it for anybody. It's a great book. The next book that I'm going to be reading is one that I do have physically, but it's actually at my parents' house right now because my mom was going to read it, which I don't actually know if she's read it yet. Mom, let me know if you've read it and if you can give it back to me. But that book, I will put a picture of it right here, It is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. This one is a pretty popular book. Everyone talks about it, everyone mentions it and recommends it, so I figured I might as well read that one. I've had it for a few years, and like a lot of books in this pile, I have just not read. I've had for a while, but I just haven't gotten myself to sit down and read them, which that is what 2021 is for, is just sitting down and reading through these books and learning stuff. So that one I will definitely be reading. I do want to mention before I get into the next book that these are not in any sort of order. I haven't decided like what book I'm going to be reading in what month. So let me know down in the comments if any of these books you have read and feel like they would be good at a certain time of the year. Let me know, like, I don't know if like a certain book would be good to read during the holiday season or in the summer or anything like that, so let a girl know. But the next book that I have here is another very popular book that I see all the time. I've had this for a bit, and that is the You Are a Badass book. This is from Jenna, SINCERO, I believe that's how you say your last name. But everyone talks about this one. Again, it's very popular, very similar to The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I've just been really wanting to read this one. It looks like a pretty easy read, it's not too long, and I'm super excited to read this one. Next up is probably the one that I am most excited to read, and that is because also in 2021 I've gotten this really big urge to start creating good habits, routines, and stuff in my day. I felt like the past year or so I've kind of just been going through the days, not really having any sort of routine or habits, and I feel like it just is not good as a person to do that. So I picked up this one not too long ago. I actually got it in the mail like 2 days ago, and that is Atomic Habits. This is from James Clear. I've heard so many good things about this one. It's also pretty high up on the self-help charts, and it's all about just making good habits and how to go about making those habits and how to make them stick. So super excited to read this one. I also will mention that I am a huge fan of taking off the covers and just having like the inside book. So when I read these, the covers will most likely be coming off because I just love that. I also did it with the joy of missing out, but I put back the cover just for you guys. But yes, very excited about the Atomic Habits, or just Atomic Habits. Probably the one I'm most excited about. Next one is one that, holy crap, is just like meant for me. If you guys have been watching my YouTube channel, you know that I love cleaning my house, I love my home, I love my space. My environment is a huge part of how I feel internally. So this book right here, which is Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, is one that I had to make sure I've read. This is one that I've had again for quite a while, and I really wanted to read it, and then she actually came out with a Netflix series, so I started watching that, and then I was like, do I really need to read it if like I've already seen her series? But a lot of people have said that her series is completely different to what she has put in her book, and it's definitely a must read, so I'm going to read this one. I think I might read this one in like April or May, like anytime like in the early spring. I feel like this would be a great read because it's all about cleaning, and I feel like spring cleaning, that sort of thing, it might get me in the mood to start decluttering my space and stuff like that. I also might even break this one out in February just because I've been getting, again, an urge. I have so many urges this year, but I might actually start decluttering and cleaning my home very soon because I've just had an urge to do that. But anyways, very excited about this one. I feel like it'll be a pretty quick read. It's a little baby book, and honestly, it's beautiful. We love a good beautiful book. Next one is a very new one to me. This one I also just recently purchased, and this is from Sarah Wilson. It is First We Make the Beast Beautiful, A Journey Through Anxiety, which I want to say now that I have not been actually diagnosed with anxiety, but a lot of the things that I go through, I've looked up on, I know people are gonna be like, you are self-diagnosing yourself, but I've looked up on Google and stuff, which is so bad, but I have a lot of different things that happen that I feel like kind of are connected to anxiety. So I wanted to read this one. Again, I know I'm not, professionally diagnosed, but I feel like it will be a good one to read, and a lot of people say that this one has definitely changed their life, so very excited about it. The cover is freaking beautiful. I'm a big cover person, and if I see a book that has a beautiful cover, I am kind of drawn to it, so I feel like a lot of people are like that. Moving on to the next book. This one is actually one that I found at the thrift store, and it actually does not have a cover on it. It is just like the inside cover, which is totally fine with me because, like I mentioned, I like to take those off. But this is The Strategic Enterprise by Billy Bishop, and I feel like this one will be a really, really good one to read because I do own a business, but it is growing a business in the 21st century. And I don't know, I just was kind of drawn to this. I mainly purchased it from the thrift store for like decor, but then I was also drawn to the title and what it was saying about, you know, growing a business in the 21st century. So I am going to read this one. I've never heard anyone talk about it, but I, you know, figured I might as well read it. I'm gonna put a picture of it here if I can find on Google of what the actual cover looks like. Very excited to read this one. Very intrigued to read this one just because I haven't heard a ton of people talk about it. So we only have 2 more physical books to go through, but then I will tell you guys about the audiobooks that I'm going to be listening to. But this one right here is again one that I've had for so freaking long. This one was one that I saw one of my favorite YouTubers, Caitlin Nicholson, talk about. So I actually picked it up when she chatted about it, and then I just haven't gotten myself to read through it. I'm pretty sure I read like the first chapter maybe, and then I stopped. But this is Sacred Powers by David G. The 5 Secrets to Awakening Transformation. She said a lot of good things about this. The cover is gorgeous, and I'm just really excited to read it. He's got a little dog here on the back with him, which is very cute. I feel like this one's going to be a little bit more like spiritual, which I'm like somewhat getting into, not completely, but I feel like this will be a great start to that kind of journey. So the last physical book that I have here is The 4 Agreements. I have seen so many people talk about this one. It is highly rated in like the self-help realm, and it is a very short read. It's a teeny tiny little book, and I feel like this one will be good for a little bit later in the year when I get busy, maybe around like November, December time. I don't want to have to wait that long for this book, but maybe if I just happen to have a pretty busy month, this one will be my go-to. But yes, very, very excited about this one. I've just heard so many good things about it, like very life-changing book, if you will. So lastly, like I mentioned, I do have 3 audiobooks I'm going to be listening to. This will be most likely the months when I am pretty busy with work and I don't have any time to actually sit and read, but I can listen to an audiobook while I work or anything like that. So the first one is actually one that someone on my YouTube channel recommended that I listened to when I mentioned that I wanted to start having like more of a routine, a morning routine, a night routine, things like that. Someone recommended that I listen to or read The Morning Miracle, which I started listening to it. I already have it on Audible, but I think I'm going to hold off on listening to that until, you know, one of my busy months. So that is the first one, The Morning Miracle. And then I also am going to be listening to The Power of Now. This one is, again, pretty, like, not spiritual, but just like the power of now. You guys can obviously see the whole like feeling of it. I feel like this one will be one that is really good to listen to instead of reading, just so I can really like get it in my system, if that makes sense. I feel like listening to this one, I might get more from it. And then the last audiobook that I'm going to be listening to is The Power of Habits. This, again, you guys can see a little bit of a theme here. I really want to get better habits throughout the year, routine and stuff like that. So this one is, again, another one about habits and how to create good habits and stuff like that. So this one is, again, one that I want to listen to. Okay, friends, so that is everything for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you liked seeing all of the books that I'm going to be reading in 2021. Maybe you got some recommendations for ones for you to read as well. Let me know down in the comments if any of you have read any of these books, your opinions on them, which ones, again, I should read at certain times of the year and stuff like that. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have yet to do so. Maybe I'll start doing some more book related stuff. Maybe we could do a little like book spread in my planner. I don't know, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you have yet to do so. I love you so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you guys in my next video.